I'll be real, bro. Most people can't lose weight because they just overcomplicate it. Should I go carnivore? Should I go high carb, low fat, high fat? But the truth is that people who can get lean and most importantly stay lean, they focus on the first principles of losing weight. And the first principles basically mean the fundamentals of any topic. For example, in football, the first principles are basically score goals, don't concede goals, all within a 90-minute time frame. Anything beyond that is just added on. That pretty much makes up the fundamental of the game. Now, what happens in between that time frame, all the tactics, all the skills, all the whatever, those are just noise. Those are just add-ons. But the first principle are those three things that we just set out. If you just do those three things, that's pretty much the game. That's pretty much guaranteed the win. And bringing the topic back to weight loss, there's only one first principle that you need to know about. And no, before you say it, it's not just be in a calorie deficit, bro. It goes a little bit deeper than that. And I promise you, if you just stick to this and you do this one first principle, you will get to your goal guaranteed. Once you understand this, everything else, and I mean literally everything else, what type of diet, what type of workout plan, what type of this and that is just noise and you don't need it. Just stick to this one thing. But before that, because I have to show some credibility to let you know that I actually know what I'm talking about. My name is Ardi. I've lost over 25 kilograms. I've gotten lean. I've gotten abs. I've gotten, all the benefits of being lean, etc. And now I'm helping people do the exact same. Now with that out the way, let's get straight into it. Now, you ready for the first principle of losing weight? Get ready for it. I'll give you a second. It's progressive overload, both in training and in calories as well. Now, I'll tackle the less obvious one first. What is progressive overload in calories? So basically, the simplest way I can explain it is, say you want to lose weight, maybe like 10 or 12 kilograms. You're eating whatever calorie level that you're eating at right now. Now, once you measure your weight every single day for like a week or two and it's not changing, what do? You progressively overload the calories, which means in this case, in terms of calories, which means you take away calories. And for those of you who don't know, I probably should have mentioned this earlier, progressive overload is it's a gym term. And what it basically means is that week on week or milestone by milestone, you change something in order for you to progress in that given activity. So for example, in the gym, every single week, I aim to either do more reps or do more weight, like physically on the bar that I lift. And basically what that ensures is that week by week, you get stronger and stronger. Whereas if you just did the same weights for like a year, you wouldn't get any bigger or you wouldn't get any leaner because you're doing the exact same weights. Like there's no sort of stimulus for you to grow because you're doing just the exact same thing. Now, what this means for diet is that week on week, if you're not losing weight, you take away calories. Now, this ultimately, yes, it does put you into a calorie deficit, but the principle still stands. Once you reduce your calories and you start losing weight week by week, there eventually will come a time where your weight loss will plateau. And at that point, that is when you progressively overload again, which is where you decrease another certain amount of calories, maybe like 100 or 200, depending on how low your calories already are. Now this like progressive overloading of calories, this is basically what keeps you in the calorie deficit. All of those diets, those keto, carnivore, I can't actually remember any other diet, like the Mediterranean diet or paleo, I don't even know what that is. Basically, they only work to lose weight because they progressively overload your calories. Or in other words, they only work to lose weight because they put you in a calorie deficit. Now, bearing in mind, some diets might be easier to be in a calorie deficit. So for example, when I tried out carnivore, it was easier to be in a calorie deficit because eating only meat, kept me way fuller for longer, right? Compared to now, I've switched over to like more of a high carb diet because, it's better for the gym training and whatnot. But basically, I become a little bit more hungry throughout the day. Now, if I only wanted to not feel hungry and still lose weight, I would go carnivore. But because I really do care about my gym performance and, being muscular in the gym, I choose to go high carb. Now, because I'm still in a calorie deficit, or in other words, I'm still progressively overloading my calories, I'm still losing weight, no matter if it's on carnivore or if it's on high carb, because that first principle is still being met. Now, there's no point just because you've heard, all of the advice on the internet, because you've heard that carnivore is such a good weight loss diet. Just because you go on carnivore, that might mean you might eat like 1,000 or 2,000 calories over your daily limit. And guess what? Because that first principle is still not being met, you'd still be fat, or at least you'd still like maintain what you are now, which is basically fat. So to sum up, any diet pretty much works as long as it progressively overloads your calories. Literally any diet. Just pick one right now in the next 5-10 seconds. Just pick one and stick to it for the whole duration of your fat loss phase. Now, we've been talking about diet quite a lot, but I do also want to note that there are different modalities to which you can reach this calorie deficit or progressive overload. Basically, you can either get it through your food, which is at the start is quite easy, or you can either get it through steps and cardio. So for example, if walking 10,000 steps, it burns 300 calories and you want to be in a 300 calorie deficit, your food could stay at, say your maintenance is 2,200. Your food could stay at maintenance, but you do that 10k steps, and because that first principle of progressive overload is being met, you'll still lose weight. Now the next day, say you didn't really want to go for a walk, so that takes away the 300 calorie deficit. So now you would decrease your food by 300, which basically gives you 1,800 calories. Now, if you stick to that 1,800 calories, even though you're not walking 10k steps, you're still progressively overloading your calories and you're in a calorie deficit, which means you'll still lose weight. Both of these scenarios still fulfill that first principle of losing weight. Therefore, you will lose weight and get leaner. Now, obviously, I'm a big advocate for being consistent in one modality until you need to change it. So for example, walk 10k steps every single day, keep your calories at the exact same level, and then finally, when your weight loss stops, then you see whether to decrease calories, increase steps, or increase cardio. For me, that's just the most simple and easiest way to stick to a calorie deficit. But if you really wanted, you could do 10k steps one day and then decrease your food by 300 the next, and then, go for a 10-kilometer run the next day while keeping everything else the same. But for the sake of simplicity and, being consistent and for getting your body used to that consistent mode of calorie deficit, just pick one outlet for now and just stick to it. Now, the other important aspect of progressive overload will be in the gym. Now, this is sort of obvious and basic, but in case you didn't know, you need to be getting stronger week by week, especially when you're in a fat loss phase where basically muscle is quite prone to being lost. I say this time and time again, along with losing weight, keeping your muscle during a fat loss phase should be one of your top priorities. I cannot stress this enough. If you're looking to lose weight, you want to look good at the end. That's why everyone loses weight, pretty much. How are you going to look good when you've dieted all your muscle off? You're going to be looking like a very stringy version of yourself. You're not going to be looking good. Instead of looking like that lean, muscular physique that you're probably picturing in your mind right now, you're probably going to be looking like a small, skinny, anorexic teen, which, that's, I don't know about you, man, but that's just, that's not a good look. I don't want to aim for that. And so if you are watching my videos and you fit that body type, there's nothing wrong with that. But anyway, no matter what training split, what workouts you do, it literally doesn't matter as long as you progressively overload your exercises week by week. Now, what this means in practice is either getting more reps in than you did last week, or putting on more weight on the bar that you can obviously handle. I mean, don't go killing yourself on bench press. Now for this, I recommend the app Strong because it tracks your lifts and you can see exactly what you did last week and you can try to beat that every single week. That should be your priority, or that should be one of your priorities, along with progressively overloading your calories. It's a bit of a short video today, but basically, in summary, for specifically gym training, no matter what split, no matter what workouts, no matter how many days you go to a gym, if you're progressively overloading your strength week by week, you're probably retaining muscle or even building it during your fat loss phase, and you'll look so much better at the end. Now, I know that this was a bit of a shorter video than I normally do, but I just wanted to make this very, very clear and sort of simplify weight loss for a lot of people. Just stick to the first principles which is, let me hear you say it, progressively overloading, both on your calories and your gym training. Thank you so much for sticking around. I really do hope that, you've learned something new from this video. If you want, you can do all that YouTuber type shit, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, so that you can see these videos way more and hopefully get more value from yours truly. And the last thing is, if you want to lose a bunch of weight pretty much and you want my personal help in doing so, you can scroll down to the description and click the top link. Now, it's not for everyone and you definitely don't have to. You can lose weight just fine just watching these videos, but it is there if you want. So feel free to do that. Other than that, thank you so much for watching and sticking around, and I truly hope you have an amazing day ahead of you.